It's the Stack Attack Fantasy Podcast, your one-stop shop to dominate fantasy baseball and football. Come get some. Now, here's a little story I got to tell about three podcasters you know so well.
I'm drinking.
20 with Nick, Mimi, Trader, Andy, and me, JT. We had a little podcast. It was me and the boys and some victory. We're the hot new brand. Twitter, follow, smash, and like because we're in demand. One of us picked Monda C. That was not a move made by me. The fun is reaching out to the YouTube chat. But guess who's in Fishbowl? He's got a backwards hat. Looking through the invites, I ran into a guy. His name was Trader Andy. I said, howdy. He said, hi. Woo!
What's up, man? That was awesome.
Brother.
That was awesome.
I can't tell you how much that took out of me. That's all I got for today, ladies and gentlemen, because that took me 8 hours to prepare so much that I had no idea how to turn on the system. I don't know what the hell's going on. Nick, for you, that was a Beastie Boys joint.
Yes, I picked it up. Thank you.
From 1986.
I was minus 4.
From the License to Ill album, which is one of the greatest albums of all time. And guys, if you're out there, you either know it or you don't know it. So let it be, man. That was fun. Trader Andy, that's for you, my brother. That was because of the big news from today, man. I've been putting that together. Absolutely. And I had to figure out the last two lines and everything. And I was praying that this invite came today. But here we are, man. We're ready to rock, all right?
Yeah. I'm impressed. I'm very happy about that. I actually stepped into the room before you knew I was there, and I heard you rapping this. I went upstairs and told my wife. I was dying laughing, and she goes, "Don't tell him you know." And then I told my wife we were having technical difficulties. You couldn't go on, and they're like, "Yo, the fancy six pack saw him rapping, and no, the fancy six pack saw him rapping, and they shut him down." And then you got that dumbass Hawaiian shirt. I love it.
Woo! I told you guys, man, I'm all about the Hawaii shirts until we get there, man. Well, not Hawaii, but Jamaica, but same thing. I might be on a little bit of the AOL dial-up today, so if that happens, I apologize, guys. But after what just happened in the opening, you probably want me off the air as soon as possible, right? Awesome. All right, guys. Let's just kick this thing off. You guys know who they are. That's Trader Andy. That's and Mimi. So, Nick, why don't we start off with your victory lap for this week, man?
My victory lap for the week went to Maine, just got back, had some lobster rolls, had some amazing barbecue at Yukon, and I am now sitting here sipping on some blueberry beer from Maine. So that's my victory lap. Maine lobster rolls are top key.
Dude, that was like the most douchey millennial statement I've ever heard. Lobster rolls and blueberry beer.
Oh, it's awesome. Don't hate. You're
so 30 years old, man.
He sounds like an Imagine Dragon, but go ahead.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. I'm on top of the world.
That's awesome. All right, Andy. I mean, without further ado, man, what's your victory lap this week?
Well, my victory lap is because of these two guys. Oops, let's go that way. All right, those two guys.
The other way, man.
Yeah.
Try it again, and then make fun of me.
There you go.
There we go.
Those two guys. And, making the Scott Fishbowl today, gotten the announcement the earliest morning. I'm excited to be here. Finally, all three of us are in there, and we can dominate this thing. Yeah, I appreciate everything you guys done behind the scenes.
No problem, man. No problem. You deserve it. And that's why the Beastie Boys let us off today. And I didn't want to get sued by playing Paul Revere, the greatest Beastie Boys song of all time, live on the air because we don't have the copyright to that. But I'm in the Beastie Boys division. I got the number 10 pick. Nick is in Imagine Dragons, and I was going to make fun of you for Imagine Dragons, and then I kind of did a little rewinding to check them out, and a lot better than what I was giving you credit for.
Thank you.
It's not a douchey millennial thing. They rock pretty good.
They kick ass.
Man, I'll give you that. Yeah,
the Angels in outfield were good too.
Yeah,
it's better than
Dragons.
They kick ass.
I know.
Right. All right. So Nick is in. Nick got 10. That was by because of the third round reversal. We put in a request for Andy for pick 10. We'll see if that works out because we figured it would be a lot of fun content for us to have the same pick and be bantering back and forth. Our guy that won the 100-yard dash, Pig Bird. If you're listening, man, what's up? If you're not, I'm going to call Scott and get that pick rescinded. He got pick 6 in Eric Clapton. So we'll see what trader Andy gets. You probably get assigned tomorrow or the day after. But that also ties into my victory lap as well. It has something to do with the Scott Fishbowl because I'm interacting with a ton of people. Like, I was telling my wife earlier today, like Twitter is a part-time job. It's ridiculous. Mm-hmm. Like it really sucks so much. Most of the time in a good way. But it's the amount of interaction between not just the whole universe of fantasy football, but the guys that were in our 100-yard dash last week, they've been awesome, man. I with all of them over the last week. I think only one of or two of them I had interaction with prior, but they've been awesome. And the one guy, Rhett, his Twitter handle, let me give it out, is @RDT_MD. He actually hit me up today and told me he got an invite today at the same time as Andy. So that's awesome, man. I love to hear that. So as of now, 2 of the 10 for the Run for the Roses. And I'm going to, every effort that I put to get Andy in, I'm going to put in to get the other 8 guys in. I'm going to check up later on and see if any of them got in. But that's my victory lap for this week is these guys, man, getting in, man. Stack Attack getting represented, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's awesome.
All right. So, Nick, let's start crash and burn for this. Something a little negative on such a possible.
My crash and burn was my weekend in Maine. That first day, I was still sick. Did not sleep. Drove 8 hours on no sleep, and it was pretty bad. It was brutal. So that's my crash and burn.
Wow.
I'm good now.
I don't think we've ever had a victory lap and a crash and burn that were identical, but I guess here we are. Right. Andy, what about you, man? You got a crash and burn this week?
Yeah, well, my crash and burn is my energy level right now due to falling asleep around 6:30 this morning after a long night in Children's Hospital and stuff. My son, thank God he's good. Hopefully he'll have a good night tonight, but have no sleep. I had no energy until I heard that rap, and now I got everything back, so it's all good.
that was some free real life Red Bull for you right there, man. Energy into the veins.
Absolutely.
All right, my crash and burn is going to be sports related, and it's Nick Madrigal, and we'll talk about that more later. Brutal. Nick, we were having a conversation here today, and you seem pretty upset. So usually the rant is us fired up guys. So I want to hear what Nick's fired up about something. I want to see what you got for me, man.
I have been a Yankee fan my whole life. The Subway Series was the first one I was truly into. I remember being heartbroken in the Diamondbacks series, losing to the Angels the next year, so on and so forth. The Marlins, the Sox. This team is they're lifeless. Boone's got to go. The fact that they even fired Girardi is a goddamn joke. It's absolutely terrible. And this guy's coming in here now. I mean, the reason they fired him was what Sanchez was. It was hard on Sanchez, and now he's being coddled. The whole team's being coddled. There has to be a line in the sand where you draw it and you say, "That's it. Let's make examples here. Cut somebody, trade somebody, do something, light a fire." There is no fire in this team. This team right now won't even make if they're doing. I don't know. Are they still doing the extended playoffs this year? Where the third, every team makes it.
It's 8.
It's 8. Okay, so they'll make it as like the 7 to the 8 seed, and they'll get swept. They'll lose immediately, and then they'll go to the offseason and they'll say, "Oh, what happened? Nothing. All right, let's bring everybody back and let's give everybody big contracts." I would tell them all, nope, no contracts. Maybe Judge, maybe Glaber. Everybody else go walk. Cut Gary in the offseason. Do something. This team is lifeless. It's horrible. It's a joke. This fan base is just sitting out back watching the Mets kick some butt, and they got nothing. If it wasn't for Cole, this team would be completely. And then on top of that, Severino got hurt yesterday in his rehab game. So he's going to be more backtracked now. We'll be lucky if we see him in September. But they got to fire Boone. If Cashman had any dignity right now, he would do it at this very moment. Today's lineup, having Odor bat third was just a joke. Third. He's not even batting 200. Great guy. He's a bench player. He's not batting third against Aaron Nola.
He's a great guy, man.
Yeah, he's a great guy.
He took a swing at
took
a swing at Bautista in the middle of the field.
This guy, nice straight right.
All right, he's a passionate guy.
Yeah.
But they got to do something. This team's going nowhere. And Boston and Tampa are Tampa's a quarter of the payroll. And they sold Snell in the offseason, and they're still doing it. So this team's a joke.
And there you go, folks. The evil empire cries again.
It's a joke. It's what, 2 World Series since 2000?
So what? I got one in my entire life.
It's the Yankees.
Yeah.
It's the Yankees.
You guys buy
that's
everything.
the problem. The expectations are set, and they have not lived up to it. So people need to lose their jobs.
You can't buy anything anymore.
No, I'm just saying people need to lose their jobs, and Boone's the first one. I'd cut Gary Sanchez in the offseason. I'd play Higashioka full time. I think that guy's a stud.
I think he's terrible.
Me too.
I
think he's going to bat 180.
That's fine. He catches Colwell. He hustles. That's my rant.
All right. Well, there was a little bit of energy there, man. I'm proud of you.
All right.
So
back to my beer.
We're at the we're so we're at the 62 game mark for most teams right now, which basically represents the end of the season last year. So my question to you guys, and we're all in multiple leagues. I know, Andy, you're actually in the fewest of the three of us, which is a change from the old norm. But we're in like a total of over 40 leagues combined between the three of us. So for all of your teams right now, do you feel like if you're winning, do you feel like you won? Or if you're not winning, do you feel like you're out of it? Because right now, if it was last year, you'd be done.
Mm-hmm.
So where are your heads at with that compared to last year?
I think right now, I mean, you know where you stand right now in the leagues. You know if you got to make trades right now. Last year, we talked about it was a sprint. This is a marathon. But there's just so many injuries this year, and a lot of teams, just with the injury bug alone, know they're standing. A couple of my leagues I've lost Flaherty. I've lost John Gray was hurt. I've lost a couple other guys in that league. Kyle Lewis, I can keep going. And I'm just dead last almost in that league. It's just hard to rebound. And even if I get those guys back, at this point, you're a third of the way in. It's an uphill climb. Other leagues where you're up top, you know, like me and Jeff right now, we're up there in TGFBI. So we're sitting good. Well, we know it's a grind and a marathon, but other leagues, if you're hurting right now, you got to make some trades. You got to make moves.
See, I kind of feel the opposite. My TGFBI team is kind of running around 30th overall, going back and forth between first and second in the division. And I almost feel like it's over. I'm like, I'm going to keep fighting, but I'm like, this dream didn't happen this year. You know, I'm going to just miss it. Like, I feel like my ceiling is like 10 and that's not good enough. Like I said, I'm going to win this whole thing or I'm going to lose it. And in a league that you can't make trades, it is what it is. You know, I kind of feel like I shot my shot and you know, I'm going to get the best I can and it's not going to be enough. Andy, I know in our home league, you got a nice comfortable lead, but you're trying to go at it every damn minute, and every injury that you get, you're trying to make 3 trades to make up for it. So how are you feeling overall as far as your chance of winning?
Well, I like my chances. I'm up there. I'm worried about a collapse, which I've done a couple times in the past. So I'm trying to play as if I'm still in the fight, I have a 19-point lead going right now. And I just want to keep dominating and I don't want people to even look at it in August. Like I just want to be away with everybody. The injuries are absolutely killing me. The obliques are killing the whole league. Like I have guys out for months now because of obliques. You know, they got to do a little more abs in the off season maybe, and they won't get hurt. I don't know, but the obliques are killing me. I have lots of injuries, and I just don't really I can't replace Flaherty right now. He's a monster. I can't do it in that league. So, you know, I just have to be smart and play the numbers.
Herb. All right. I want to kind of rewind and go back to the preseason just a little tiny bit and talk about some of our plans and see how they laid out and what's working and what's not. So, Nick, I'm going to start with you. Are there any players that you're heavily invested in this year that you took across multiple teams that either did work out or didn't work out that you'd like to talk about?
I didn't heavily invest in him, but we talked about the last episode with Matt Chapman. He did have a good day yesterday, I believe it was. So maybe he's turning the corner, but I mean, he did have a good game. Somebody I was heavily invested in this season was Dylan Moore. He just got back from an injury. He still has the speed potential, so he is still worthwhile. He's almost got 10 steals now, but he's batting $179. 6 homers, 21 RBIs. I mean, in a points league, kind of useless. In a roto league, it's good for the steals, but I expected him that $179 to at least be 250, 270 or something right now, but it's just not there.
Yeah, Herb. Andy, how do you feel? You got anybody that you're over invested in that may or may not have worked out?
Well, the first one that we've talked about multiple times, right, is on good and bad starts is Eduardo Rodriguez. I'm cutting bait with him all over the place. He has an over 6 ERA. I'm done with him. Another guy I was really heavily invested in that just has not done anything yet is Ty France. I actually thought he was going to break out this year. He's batting 240 with 3 home runs. He's been really crap. And then Kevin Biggio, we've talked about as well. That was another guy I was heavily invested in, getting around like a 4th to 6th round pick and for the power and speed at second base, and he's hot garbage. A couple of guys I knew that were going to break out, 2 of them being on the Mets, is Marcus Stroman in a contract year. I knew he was going to break out, got 6 wins, got a 2 ERA, great whip. He's controlling his pitches. He looks healthy. Him and his do-rag is doing the job. And then you got, what's his name? Verdugo, who I love. And then Taijuan Walker, who's been a monster with the Mets as well, is a great signing. So.
All right, nice. My 2 highest invested players, one good, one bad. Obviously, Madrigal is one of them, but we won't discuss that yet. Mitch Haniger, I was getting him early in the draft season. I was getting him as my outfielder 5, even a utility guy, even bench. And towards the end of the draft season, he was becoming more of like an outfield 3. But I mean, he's sitting here now with 16 home runs and 40 RBIs, and he's batting I think 255, 257, something like that. He's been a revelation, and he's been saving my team. He's probably going to get traded at some point. Hopefully, it's to a better ballpark, because Seattle's not exactly a bandbox. There's a damn good chance he's on pace for over 40 home runs, and I think it can stick. I got him everywhere, so I'm pretty happy about that. On the negative end, Nick, I'm surprised you didn't mention this guy. We were super excited about him after about 10 days. Is Adam Eaton? He's just falling off the face of the earth. He's not even startable now. He's batting under 200. He's 194, I believe. Yeah, we thought at least 15-15, which is usable for an outfielder number 5, utility guy, but he's not even hitting his weight barely, and he plays maybe, and he's left-handed, so he should be playing almost every day with the platoon, but playing 3, maybe 5 games at most a week, so he's just a detriment to my lineup. I'm moving on from him.
Yeah,
all right, Nick, I'll start with you on the next question. Go ahead.
I was going to add real quick 2 positive guys. I forgot to mention them. Cedric Mullins, I was very, very quiet on him, and every league I could possibly do it, I was throwing a late for a flyer on him. My boy Nate Lowe threw some flyers on him. He's hot and cold, but he has been showing life there. And we'll talk about him later. But Jesse Winker, I took in a lot of leagues too, and he's just MVP level almost right now.
All right. So we'll go out of order now. Andy, I'll start with you then. So are there any players that you faded completely, no shares, and that now as we sit here today having this conversation, you either regret it or you're grateful that you took a full fade on them?
I can't actually think of anything offhand. I was looking at it like I do have like I'm in like 7 or 8 leagues. I have probably one share of every single person out there that I've discussed. So I can't really say. I just wish I had more things of Nick Castellanos. And I just knew he was going to have a monster season at little bandbox, and I only have like 1 or 2 shares, and it sucks.
All right. Nick, any fades that are biting you in the ass or that maybe saved you by staying away?
I didn't fade him, but I have, I think, 1 share, and that was the very last draft I did. It's Vlad. I knew he was going to have a big season coming in. I just was never in a position to draft him. And, reading the offseason weight loss, the offseason progress he was making, you just kind of knew it was coming. And I just, like I said, I only have 1 share of him. And it's not even my league. I drafted for a buddy of mine, and that's the league I drafted him in.
Jesus! Hey, at least you did your friend right.
Oh yeah, he's reaping the benefits right now. He's got him and Winker, so he's crushing it.
Right.
But I wish I had more shares than him.
I hear you. I'm in full fade of Adalberto Mondesi. Enough. I got nothing else to say. He's such a negative that he made my Beastie Boys freaking rap, man. That bad. Oh all right. Man. But the one guy that I'm really upset that I only have in best balls, and I got excited about him is before he even got traded or moved. It was Marcus Semien. The guy's on fire. He's almost back to where he was when he was a top 5 MVP candidate 2 years ago. Dude's batting freaking 291 in a year where everyone else is batting under 240. 9 stolen bases, 14 home runs. He's just been killing it. We knew that offense was going to be amazing. Andy didn't stop talking about the Toronto offense. We said at bat second, even if he doesn't, no matter where he goes in the lineup, he's going to be in the middle of something great and have an opportunity to run everything. And he's doing it, and I have him almost nowhere. And I feel like an idiot because I knew it was going to happen. So I'm going to give myself the moron. Andy, give me a moron.
Moron.
So, that is what it is. Yeah. All right. So guys, anybody, and Nick, we'll start with you on this one. Any players that you got blindsided by that you just didn't see coming, whether it's positive or negative, just the performance that they brought forth is not what you expected?
We'll go to the Yankees. DJ LeMahieu. He's not. I don't know. He's not boosting what he should be doing right now. I don't know what's going on there, but I got to go DJ. I was very high to me. He was, in an AL only league, I took him in the first round. But I have him in our Dynasty League. I don't know what's going on in New York there, but usually he's a 3-3, 330, 340 hitter. Right now he's batting 257. It's not him. So I don't know what to say about him right now. What's going on with that?
Right. I remember in the redraft, you were taking him in the 3rd round a bit.
Yeah.
Wow.
He was consistent. He was doing the same thing every year, so didn't expect this at all.
Right. Andy, anybody for you?
I would say as a whole, I would say the catcher position. There's a lot of people that are just coming out of the woodworks who have outperformed anything that we thought. You got your Toyota Corolla guy from the White Sox. He's still doing good, and I think he sucks. And then you got the cat from the Tigers, he's like 30 years old, and he's coming up hitting bombs. Tyler Stevenson, who's one of my favorites. Carson Kelly. There's a lot of guys that are outperforming what they should have for a position that's really bad. It's been pretty good this year.
Not bad. All right, I have a couple players I got blindsided by. Number one, and both of them apply. The first 2 apply to Nick. Number 1 is Cedric Mullins. I didn't see that coming at all. I knew he'd be a great source for speed, but a 320 batting average and the home runs, I didn't see that coming at all. So I got blindsided by that. And the other one I actually traded to you. I thought I was selling high, but I was a moron is Jesse Winker. You know,
Moron.
I actually have I can't call him a trade
What?
because I have a lot of shares of him. Me and Andy were drafting him as like our outfield 4 because we just wanted it for our 4th outfielder, somebody that was like a 270 average and a 20, 21, 25 home run ceiling. You know, he's a good, safe player. I knew what I was in him, and I figured I was selling high. But Jesus Christ, the guy's still batting 339. He's tied for the league lead in home runs, and you know, it's a far cry. Like I almost thought that the numbers that he put up so far would be his entire season, and there's still so much more to come. So shame on me.
I just thought the playing time wasn't going to be there either initially, and here he is.
The other guy that was a big surprise to me, I actually have on my TG FBI team, and that was just me taking advantage of a massive ADP slide and needing a quarter man at the time. Was Jared Walsh. Guy's been incredible. He actually 13, actually 14 because he hit a home run this afternoon.
Yep,
batting like 295. He's just absolutely killing it. You know, him in tandem with Ohtani once Trout gets back. That's the middle of a lineup that you know, Rendon on top of it. You don't want to mess with a lineup, man. If they pitching and figure it out, the team could be pretty damn good. But they pitch like a bunch of morons. So, I still got the moron flying down there at me. I'm going to do that the rest of the day. Anytime I talk, I'll just put moron on the bottom. All right. So you guys remember back about 10 episodes ago, we did some bold predictions. Do you guys remember the bold predictions that you made?
Remember some.
Yeah.
Some.
Let's talk about the ones you remember, Nick. So let's run through some of the things that you said and let's see what you got right, what you got wrong. Well, because I don't think we really did very well.
No, I had Matt Chapman AL MVP. Moron. Garrett Cole, I had Cy Young. I still think that's a realistic possibility. I had Yu Darvish.
He's actually the Vegas.
He's the favorite.
Okay, he's in the mix. Cole is the Vegas favorite right now. Yes.
And there we go. Right. He's still in there. And I believe I had Mookie Betts as the NL MVP.
Ouch.
Yeah.
That's far from over though, man.
Yeah.
He can still get into that conversation.
Maybe.
All right.
Maybe.
All right. Andy, what do you remember of yours?
I remember Erod being the comeback player of the year. That was horrible. I think I had Vlad as MVP, which he could win triple. He could win Triple Crown. He's definitely been a monster, and he losing the weight. I didn't get enough shares because he just started going way too high. But it's a couple of other things. I mean, I had DeGrom win the Cy Young, and I think
filthy
Giolito with the AL MVP, AL Cy Young, and that's probably not going to happen. So, it is what it is. Only predictions.
Right. Well, my bold predictions. Number one was Madrigal winning the batting title.
Could have happened.
I'm not going to take an L on that because he was batting 305. He was heating up, and now he's basically done for the year. So it is what it is. The other one, the one I was spot on with, was our boy Mark Melancon. We call him Melancon lovingly. I said he was good. At the time we didn't even know if he was going to be the closer. In fact, he was behind in the eyes of the industry, and I said he was going to lead the league in saves, and he's leading the league in saves, man, and he's running away with it. He's got a stranglehold on the job. As long as he stays healthy, he's probably going to take that down. So that's 1 point for me that I was right. Other than that, my rookie of the year picks, Andrew Vaughn, Ke'Bryan Hayes. I don't think that's going to hit. I'm glad for that because Trevor Rogers, hands down, looks like he's going to take that if he keeps up where he's at with a 2 ERA. My Cy Young, not bad. Lance Lynn, Aaron Nola, neither of them are really in contention. Lance Lynn could be. He missed some time. If he stays healthy the rest of the way and keeps popping 10 strikeout games, he could get back into it. But I think Garrett Cole's got a good, healthy lead on him. The one that kind of hurts me a little bit was I said that Ohtani was going to be the American League MVP, but they won't give him the award because he's on Mike Trout's team and that he's not going to get the votes needed for that. And I think I was pretty spot on with that because the dude's the MVP of the league. I don't care what Vlad has to say, what anybody else has to say at this point. Shohei Ohtani is the best player on the planet, and he does everything 100. And I'm in love with it, man. We have him in an AL only daily league where we could swap him back and forth from pitcher to hitter every day, and he's just a weapon that nobody else can match that. He's the equivalent of having a superstar at both positions, but you get him for $0 in one of the spots. It's just amazing. It's absolutely incredible. So I'm going to take a correct on that, even though I said Yordan Alvarez. He's still in it. He's not ruled out. And my other pick was Juan Soto, who's off to a really slow start overall, but we'll see. So wrapping up talking about the first part of the year, is there anything that either of you guys kind of learned or reinforced from a strategy or a drafting perspective? We lost Nick. I'm not sure he took off. Oh, he's back.
I'm back.
Welcome back, sir. Welcome back. I thought you got sick again.
No, good to go now.
Blueberry beer.
This makes for great radio. So anyway, Nick, we're trying to talk a little strategy. Is there anything that you learned from this season, whether it was a draft strategy or a new format that you learned, anything that kind of stuck out to you that now you feel wiser or that you reinforced your own knowledge from before the season started?
Closers. They started slow, but they're starting to bounce back now. We were heavily invested in on closers early, but you get some late round gems. So definitely want to invest in one of those guys towards the end in a 2 or 3-legged horse race. At least get one of them in there.
Yep. All right. Understood. Cool. Andy, how about you? Anything that you've learned or reinforced so far?
Yeah, just fade JT Realmuto, Grandal, and all those other big name catchers. Just wait till the end, and you'll find some cheap gems there, waiver wire gems that can do just as much. Grandal's been hot garbage this year. Everyone's wasting a lot of high picks on those guys. It's just not worth it.
Right. For me, the one thing I learned was, we all have a lot of experience in this, and it's very easy to kind of follow groupthink and whatever. I have to just completely throw ADP out the window and just ignore it and just go by my own rankings, because I in most cases I know more than the people that I'm drafting against. And I'm not saying that I'm a slave to ADP, that I follow it in any way or I use it as my rankings, because I don't. But what I do use ADP for is I kind of think like, oh, I love this guy, but his ADP is 150 and we're only at pick 120. So I could probably get away with it until next round. And I got bit in the ass so many times. Get cute. Is Verdugo and Chris Bryant were two of the big ones that I would have drafted these guys in round 5, 6, 7. And I'm like, their ADP's way later. I could wait. And then they get sniped on me and I'm pissed. And then I'm taking a plan B, plan C, all that. So that's
get your guy. Just get your guy.
Yeah, exactly. You said it perfectly, man. Always get your guy. That applies to football just the same. Let's just keep it moving. And
nobody's looking at ADP 3-4 months later.
Right. That's we talked about it last week. If I had Chris Bryant and Melancon on my TGFBI team, I would be in first place, bar none, overall, and I'd be your trend. And instead of a couple people watching, it would be a couple million. So here we go. Andy, any other players you want to discuss before we head on out of here?
Just a couple rookies who are really showing me some stuff. Minor leaguers, actually, not rookies. Nolan Gorman. He actually 3 home runs yesterday. He's batting over 300. He cut his K rate down. He increased his walk rate this year, and he's hitting bombs. And another thing that he's doing is he's also playing second base too, which obviously, they're looking for a future spot for him with Arenado over there at third. So I think he's going to be up here soon. Maybe I don't think end of this year, but probably mid next year. But he looks really good. Another guy is from the Nationals is Cade Cavallini. He's got 71 strikeouts in 40 innings. First round draft choice in 2020 out Oklahoma. He's looks like a frontline starter. He's dominating this year. He's going to get moved up soon, and it's going to be horrible to watch him pitch against the Mets. But go ahead.
All right, Nick, you got any baseball players you want to talk about before I ask you about football a little bit?
Nah, not really. Cade's pretty good. I saw his stat line yesterday. He does look solid, but I'm just sitting here waiting on the waiver wire. I'm waiting for Brujan. I'm waiting for Franco. I'm waiting for these guys. I'm even looking at Nolan Jones, just guys like that. I'm just waiting for him to come up. Bobby Witt. We can keep going on. Jeter Downs. Hopefully, a lot of these guys get a crack at it this year.
All right, cool. I got a cool little baseball nugget from today that I heard on the radio. This is not my research, obviously. This is pretty deep. So the Blue Jays scored 4 million runs today, something like that.
18.
So
close enough.
Ryan Weber was the guy that took the beating on it all. This is the team player stat of the year. So he went 5.2 innings in relief and gave up 11 runs. Okay. It's the first time in 80 years that a relief pitcher gave up 13 hits, 11 runs, and 4 home runs in the same game by a reliever. Okay. I will give you $1 billion if you could tell me the one player that ever did that before. You don't know. His name was Sid Shat. Okay. His name was Shat. That's how I feel about that story. So. Andy, before I ask Nick about some football stuff, any throwback player for us this week? I know that's something you're really focused on talking about, all right?
Absolutely. And I'm getting a lot of feedback from people reaching out to me on Twitter trying to talk about people. So this is going to be one that was close to my heart. When I was a young Mets fan before the Yankees were anything big in the 90s, we had the Mets. And I was in the 80s. We got our first World Series, only World Series I've ever been since I've been alive. And there was a guy that came up in the late 80s. He was the savior of the Mets, Greg Jeffries. I love that guy. I actually followed everything he did. He used to swing a bat in the pool to increase his bat speed, and that's what I did. So I jacked every inside fastball I got. And he was crap when he came up with the Mets. He did okay, nothing great. He wasn't the savior. And then he goes to the Cardinals and in a couple other teams in 1993. He had one of the most magnificent years I've ever seen. He batted .342, had a .408 on base percentage, 16 home runs, 83 RBIs, 83 runs, and 46 stolen bases. I couldn't believe when I saw those numbers because he didn't come up as like a really fast guy, but he was a smart base runner, and that was a monster year in 1993. So that's what I got.
Nice. It's a different game these days, man. The game's played above the rim now instead of below the rim. So we're never going to see performances like that again. I mean, I know you thought Mondesi might do it, but it ain't going to happen. It's just not there. All right, Nick. What's going on with football, man? I've been a little out of the loop other than getting involved with the community on the Scott Fishbowl, man. Any news to break to us?
I just saw today, ESPN reported the Jets asked Crowder to take a 50% pay cut. I think I saw somebody post today. He's going in the 70s, like wide receiver 70s in best ball drafts. I don't think he's going to make the team. That's a steal. He goes to Detroit. He goes anywhere. He's getting 100 targets. He's 27 years old.
Freaking love that guy. Love him.
So I don't
Is
think
he
he's going to.
27 years old still?
I believe he's 27. And I posed the question: Crowder for Ertz. Who says no?
I love that.
Who says no?
Wow. That's I like that.
Hey, we'll even pay some of his
Hopefully
salary.
your coach saw it.
We'll pay a couple. We'll pay a little bit of his salary. I'll do that.
Yeah, you don't have to cut the check.
Yeah. We'll pay. The Jets will pay. I don't know, 3, 4, 5 million out of the deal, and we'll take Ertz. That'd be awesome. We'll see.
All right. What else you got? Anything else going on in the world of football? Julio is traded. Rogers still hasn't reported, so everything's quiet.
Yeah. Scott Fishbowl. We're all pick 10. We're mocking away at pick 10. I keep seeing Aaron Rodgers fall there, and it's just you got to pass right now. He's drawn that hard line in the sand, and they're talking up Jordan Love. They're saying how he's got Mahomes skills, and that bluff's not working. They know he's not that level.
Right.
They're a 4-12 team without Rodgers.
So let's talk about that number 10 pick. Let's do it real quick. What have you seen from your mock drafts? Because I know you did a couple already. I mean, I started one today that I went Kelce Saquon, and I'm like, oh, that's pretty nice, but it's in a tight end premium. But I don't know what's going to happen with quarterback. But
it's tempting to go running back because you could walk away with Derrick Henry or and Jonathan Taylor, but you got to get that quarterback. But that third round reversal is also nice. If you take because that third round reversal, we're looking at Aaron Jones, we're looking at Austin Eckler still sitting there, so we're looking pretty right there. So I mean, looks like taking a quarterback 1 or 2 and pairing with the running back is the way to go, and then just take the running back in the third, and then go your tight end quarterback from there.
What quarterback do you think will be there at 10?
At 10, maybe Dak. Russell Wilson will definitely be there. Rodgers, but I mean Tom Brady will be there. But I mean by July 5th, we're still not gonna have an answer on Aaron Rodgers. So he's gonna get faded, and it's gonna be interesting to see where he goes. ADP is gonna be all over the place on him.
See, I'm a little more inclined if I'm not going to get Dak in the first round at 10, that I'm going to wait till the second round and hope for Russell Wilson at that point. The consolation prize might be Trevor Lawrence or Joe Burrow, which is scary.
It will be.
That's the thing with the Scott Fishbowl. There's 1,900 teams this year, so you got to shoot your shot, and you got to take some risks. Like I'd love to get Kelce in the first because that's my guy, so I might as well plant my tree there. But yeah, it's all league dependent. The mock that I'm doing, the first 6 picks were all quarterbacks, and CMC went 9th, and I was ready at 10th.
I took Kyler Murray last year at the end of the second round, 223, I believe it was.
No, you took him in the third.
The third round, 302. I took him.
Third. You took him in the third.
He went
Mahomes, Eckler,
that's it.
Kyler Murray.
Wow. He went number 6 overall.
Those two. Right.
He went number 6 overall in some leagues.
So
having Mahomes and Murray.
That might be the answer of what we got to find is who is that player in the third round, whether it's a quarterback, maybe the tight end, that's really a Scott Fishbowl first round talent, so that we get 2 first round picks like you did last year. And
that's why I
have a
made the
successful
playoffs.
season.
That's how you make the playoffs. You find that sleeper. We got to dive into that.
Yep. All right, cool. All right. Hey, you guys got anything else you want to talk about before we head on out of here? The one thing I do want to remind everybody, we're talking about our charity of the week. It is still this week. We didn't do too much to promote the fact that we were moving to Sundays for a couple of weeks. So, we're kind of still in the same week as last. So it's the same charity of the week. It's Eric LeGrand's Walk to Believe. And if you look at the screen right now, I'll read it in case anybody's listening. It's awtb21.fundraise without a d.org. And they're up to, I believe it's like $135,000 or something like that raised. So please, guys, that's our charity of the week. We did great with the American Heart Association last week. Next week's Father's Day, so we will have another charity to talk about and introduce and promote for the whole week. We will be live on the air next Sunday at 7:30. It is Father's Day. I can't promise you our, inebriation level as we celebrate the day with our kids and our fathers. But we're going to be here for you. And I don't care if there's 3 people watching live or 300, we're going to be here. So that said, guys, Nick, you got anything intelligent to say before we get out of here?
I got nothing. It's Sunday.
Nick's going hard Nick's going hard on those blueberry beers, man.
Yeah, I'm going to sleep early tonight. I drove for 16 hours these past 3 days. It hurts.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man. You need to get some sleep, dude.
And blueberry beer.
Andy, what do you got for me, man?
I'm just
up there.
appalled by that shirt down there. Oh my god, that shirt's ugly, man. Every week it gets
I got
worse
another
and worse.
one for next too, man.
Is it brighter?
I got to talk to your wife about getting to Jamaica
brighter?
quick so we can be done with it.
I got a whole collection, my dude. All right, guys.
With a neon one.
Yeah, I got neon. We'll be there. All right, guys. He's at the pointing. I still can't get down. At Mimi, at AMAC22NJ. I'm at JTrella20. Trevor, thanks for all you do. We appreciate you. Even though you're not here today, you're at work, and I failed with my own production this time, but I appreciate it anyway, man. Let's take us out of here, man, guys. Peace out. Thanks for everything.
See you.
Peace.